Hey folks on and around Lake Murray, home buyers and sellers. Hey, this week's episode I decided that I would talk about what should you look for when buying a home other than a great agent, okay? This is Brent Downing with the Downing Group at Century 21 and what to look for in buying a home. First of all, it's of course budget. I mean, we need to know like where do you want to be on your house payment per month. The best way to do that is to get pre-approved through a mortgage lender. So that to me is the first step in buying a home. Find out, can I get a mortgage? What's the most mortgage you can get? Not that you necessarily want to spend that much. And then tell the lender what you want your payment to be at or below, and they'll tell you kind of what price home to be looking at. The next thing would be functionality, like what schools do your kids go to, or do you want them to go to? How big of a home do you need? How many bedrooms? Things like that, distance from work. There's must-haves and nice-to-haves when in functionality. You know, the schools are usually must-haves for people. Distance from work is usually a must-have, but having a fenced backyard, that's a nice-to-have because you can add a fence. The next thing would be the condition of the home. Now, anytime that I'm helping a buyer buy a home, I make any offer that we do contingent upon doing inspections, okay, and making sure that everything's all set there. And if it's not, we can walk away from the contract or ask the seller to fix whatever it is we find at their expense before we move on. So the condition of the home is important. Don't want thousands and thousands of dollars of bills racking up after we buy a house because we didn't have the home or the air conditioner inspected, for example. Next thing is value. You know, your agent should be telling you, hey, is this thing worth it? Of course, again, anytime we help someone buy a home, we make our offers contingent upon the home appraising at equal to or more than the sales price. And if it doesn't, we'll get out of the contract. We'll have that contingency in there. But your agent should be giving you comps and should be directing you and guiding you in that area. Last thing is resale. You know, you may love a purple house with pink curtains and, you know, crazy tile floors and all that. But, you know, most people should be concerned about resale. The average time in a home is about 5 years. And so, you know, usually the only people I find that aren't concerned about resale are people that are old and they're like, heck with it, I'll leave it to my kids and they can worry about it. But you are going to sell your house eventually. So, I am always telling my buyer clients the pros and cons in terms of resale, so they know, you know, in 5 years when they call me to sell their house that I'm like, yeah, all right, cool, this is going to be a good one. Any agent that would sell their client a house that like backs up to the interstate or railroad tracks, or at least without telling them and warning them, is not looking out for your best interest. So I'm always giving people pros and cons as we walk through homes. So the last thing I want to say today about buying a home is there's going to be some compromises you'll have to make on some of those things. Not every home. I mean, I've never found a home that is an all 10 on every category that a buyer wants. Oftentimes a buyer says, I will not do this or I must have that. And by the time we're done, there's a compromise or even a total change. But you might get a 10 in schools, but you might not get a 10 in distance from work and so forth. So just be ready to compromise a little bit on some things. Your agent should be able to help you through that. So those are a few things that I thought of that I would like to share with you this week about what to look for when buying a home. If you have any home buying needs or home selling needs, want to talk to somebody, a pro about any of that, call us at the Downing Group at Century 21. Jay Bolos, or email us or like us on our Facebook page and send us a message there. All right. Have a great week.